This is Hannibal. I'm Piper here from the HannibalTV.com. And don't forget to watch us on Facebook as well as YouTube because we actually get more views on our The Hannibal TV Facebook page. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at The Hannibal TV. And let me jump into the news for you. The main news of the day is The Rock's Black Adam movie. Made 73 million this weekend, which is pretty damn good. That's the total that it made overseas, and it made 67 million in the US alone. And the total, as Piper's digging at something there, the total from all the movies this weekend in the US was only 113 million. So 67 from Black Adams alone. That's pretty impressive. Apparently, the movie had a $195 million budget. So, huge budget. He's definitely probably the most famous actor out there these days, and definitely the most successful pro wrestler of all time. XPW is apparently still around. There is a Rob Black interview on this channel with John Paz. If you search Rob Black, the Hannibal TV, of course, he owned XPW. And I have to say, I do not like deathmatch wrestling. I saw some of the pictures from this on Twitter. I am at Twitter at Devin Hannibal as well. DEVONHANNIBAL. But I must warn you, I have posted some explicit stuff on there recently. But they one of the wrestlers did a spot where he punctured another wrestler's cheek with a needle and then squirted stuff out the needle on the other side. And there's just a lot of crap and really dangerous stuff. And I know these guys are not making much, and I'd be shocked if XPW paid to have all these guys tested. I'd be absolutely shocked. You always hear that independents that do death matches claim that they have everybody tested. But anyone that I've personally talked to, that I've personally asked, did they do the testing and did they pay for the testing? They always say no. So I think this is, maybe they do in XPW. I don't know. But the reason I don't like deathmatch wrestling is these guys get paid shit and they're doing all this dangerous stuff, and it's just taking advantage of people that want attention. So I really don't like it. TJ Dillashaw, a UFC fighter who I know the name of but never actually watched, popped out his shoulder in a fight last night against I forget the guy's name, but he is. I'll actually look it up because I thought I wrote it down. I don't watch the lightweights. I'm sorry. I don't. It's just like wrestling and fighting. I don't care about the lightweights either. So it's not just something personally I have against MJF. I only want to watch the heavyweights and girls. It's the same in fighting because I was a bouncer for like 18 years. It doesn't matter how skilled the little guys are. I got a little bit of skill, and they're always easy to beat. Okay, so Aljamain Sterling won by TKO when the ref stopped the fight, but he was actually fighting Aljamain Sterling. And yeah, he had this previously injured shoulder that had been popping out since, I guess, the end of April. But he needed the payday from the fight, so he still fought. And then in wrestling, we have Ric Flair's son-in-law there that was out for numerous weeks with like a sprained ankle when it's fake, and they only wrestle in AEW once or twice a week. And they have trainers that can. I remember in fucking high school rugby, I sprained my ankle, and it was very severe, actually. I had to be taken out of the rest of the game and go to the hospital, but I still went to all the practices and never missed a game. So I thought it was funny when whatever the Mexican guy, Charlotte Flair's husband, he was out for like weeks over this sprained ankle, and then the guy that wrestled John Moxley, Adam Page, um, got some type of concussion um, on last week's Dynamite, and like it was the end of the world. It's like, you guys are supposed to be tough. I'm sorry, but like, this is why wrestling is not entertaining anymore. It's not the toughest people in the world. No Gimmicks Guy says Ted Hart returns for a deep dive shoot interview next Sunday, October 30th on the Great North Wrestling Podcast at 8 p.m. And No Gimmicks Guy is the new owner of, or the new guy that's going to be running Great North Wrestling, the executive vice president, Jack Tilby. And he actually just did an interview with Canadian independent legend Doug Casson. For it's a very Canadian podcast. Even though I am Canadian, I think I'm more on the American side for whatever reason. So there's your Canadian podcast. Oh, is it not Black Adams? I don't know. I don't watch Marvel. I'll change it. Is it Patch Adams? Is it not? What is the Rock's movie? This is funny. I hate comic book movies. Let's see what it's called here. The Rock's new movie, Black Adam. Black Adam. Why is the word black in the title? Because his movie's called Black Adam. Oh, thanks for messing with me, Dave. I appreciate it. But yeah, I really hate comic book movies. I only watched one of Batista's, and I literally fell asleep in it. I remember I saw it with my ex-wife, and she kept having to like nudge me because I was snoring highly loud in it. And like I'll tell you guys another funny time. I do like Shakespeare, but one time for my ex-wife's birthday, I bought her tickets to a Shakespeare play. I don't think it was A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was one of the more rare ones. But I'd actually got us like front row tickets to this, but it was at a time I was still bouncing. So the previous night I'd worked till like 3 a.m. And in those days I liked to work out after I worked. So I would work till like 3 a.m, drive to the gym, which I was working out at a Good Life 24/7 at that time. So I would go to the gym from like 3:30 to 5 because I liked working out when no one was there. I could superset everything. I wouldn't have to talk to anyone. So I guess I hadn't slept, and I got up early to be with her at her birthday. And I kept like literally falling asleep in this play. And apparently, like, I was right at the front, and I kept snoring loudly. And she kept like waking me up. And I would like promise that I would not fall back to sleep. Then right after I would fall asleep again. So it was quite funny. Yes, Patch Adams was the Robin Williams one. I did not see that. It looked boring. But I did like Mrs. Doubtfire. I like when they walk in on him taking a piss in the Mrs. Doubtfire outfit. That was great. And actually, right now, I am watching a movie that Gene Simmons helped create. It's a Halloween movie called Trick or Treat that features Ozzy Osbourne. I'm watching it on YouTube with Piper. So I've seen it a bunch of times. I love it. It's an 80s movie, and I'm going to do a review of it. So hope everyone had a great weekend. We had unseasonably warm weather here today in Ottawa, but I didn't end up running outside. I did shoulders and traps today at the gym. John says Trick or Treat is a classic. Yes, it is. Yes, I am a man of cultures. Wallace's Black Adams is the villain who hates the original Captain Marvel, who is now referred to as Shazam. Wasn't Shazam one of Shaq's movies as well? Anyways, I'll stop rambling. Have a great night. And yeah, next Sunday night, Ted Hart. And I was just talking to Jack Kilby about this. The last time Ted Hart appeared on the Great North Wrestling podcast, I was disappointed. He only had 2,000 total views. I think he could do better. So everybody check in next Sunday at 8 p.m. He'll be back on the podcast. Let me just look what his shoot interview did. Okay. Ted Hart's shoot interview from 4 years ago with me got 51,000 views. And his podcast, which was pretty good, only got 2,000. So let's make this October 30th one really successful, and let's get the views up there and get some questions and comments. I would love to see that. He's had a rough few years. Check in and say hello to Ted next Sunday at 8 p.m. Hello, Hassan. Oh, positive dreams. You know what? My mom actually cooked me a delicious steak dinner tonight and a nice pumpkin pie. And I saw my dad and I told him he needs to get back in the gym. He just turned 75. Thanks for asking. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal